Welcome back to the Random Stuff Podcast. I'm your host, Austin, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about movies, celebrities, food, and more. So, if you haven't done so, please follow or subscribe wherever you're listening to this at and share it with your friends and family. So, guess let's start off with some movie news. So, Daredevil born again. So, as a lot of us knows, earlier this year, Daredevil born again came out on Disney Plus with 9 episodes, and it has a kind of a mix, what's so much between the audiences. A lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it. Some people think it's just all right. So, and we know that Daredevil Born Again season 2 is coming out next year, which right now they're already working on it. And the news that we have so far is, well, one of the defenders is returning, Jessica Jones, and now one of the stars, Vincent D'Onofrio, who plays Kingpin, or Wilson Fisk, and admits that there is a plan for season 3, and he said was that if they allowed us to continue, we have a plan. It sets it's up to the fans to watch, to get excited. It sets up to us to please them and get the story right. But it's all, yeah, I mean, you're looking forward in a big way. So who knows what he means by that? I mean, due to what it said is that they want it to be big. They want it to get it. They want to get the story right for the fans because due to how season 1 played out, like the whole season wasn't really that great because due to they had different writers and stuff. So yeah, who knows? Now since and say getting the writer back from Daredevil Born Again in episode 1, 8, and 9. So who knows? Maybe they'll come back for season 3, which I do kind of hope so. But we just have to wait and see what that all happens. So speaking of movie, I mean, technically TV shows, um, so we all know that Squid Game season 3 came out this year, and and people are kind of disappointed in it because due to like everything that sets up in season 2, a lot of the stuff they didn't really finish well. Like the detective, and I'm not really good with the names, so don't mind me. So like for the detective, as of what we know, back in season 2, him and and a team went off on a boat to find the island where the games are handling. And actually, maybe I should also mention spoiler warning if you haven't watched it. Anyways, so there's one on the island, and the last thing that we saw about them from season 2 was a captain who killed one of the members. So, but in season 3, they wanted to follow along that, but all they did was look for island, and like in the very last episode, a detective made it to the island and really didn't do anything. He just saw his brother, asked him why, and the front man, didn't say anything. So really quite underwhelming since they set up that whole thing. And also another thing, um, people are kind of upset about Gihan, player 1256 death. So he killed himself for the baby, so the baby can win. Which which personally for me, I did really like that ending because, like you said, we're not horses, they're people, and it's honestly quite sad. Like, man. So, I mean, I guess I can understand why some people hated it, but not for me. It, yeah, season 3 was also kind of dark at the same time. A lot of good characters died. And speaking of season 3, the ending of it in US, where a new recruiter is recruiting because it's leading up to the US version, which games they're gonna fight, who knows? Like maybe I mean they could bring back for like Greenland since that's kind of like a US game as well. And I think tons. So who knows when that happen and all of that? Who knows? So that's really about it for the movie news right now. So Jeff, let's get on to some food news of food and drinks. Anyways, so for the drinks wise, I don't know why, but I recently just found out about this on like TikTok, which is weird because since when I heard this drink was out back in June 25th, I believe, which I guess it didn't really market it that well since I really just found it out like a few days ago in July, of course. But it's a new drink at Dunkin, and which is collab with Sabrina Carpenter. Again, you guys don't remember they did a collab once with the shaken espresso drink. But now she's back at it again with the new strawberry daydream refresher. And basically it's they have strawberries, oat milk, and toss of a layer of a cold foam. And I actually finally got a chance to drink it, but did it because, like I said, I just found out about it. And for me, I actually did enjoy it. Like I wasn't really a big fan of the espresso because I'm not really like a coffee person. So, but it's really good. And if you want to know what it tastes like, for me, it just tastes like strawberries. And a weird thing about it is that I don't know why, but the closest Dunkins to me didn't have it, which is weird, even though it says it's nationwide. So I have to go to another Dunkin' that was like 20 minutes away from me. Like still, it's not really that far, but it's not the closest to me. So yeah, but just a little rant. Uh, and also now for actual food news. Um, well, Taco Bell is launching an all new menu with I mean unexpected celebrity. Um, Tony Hawk, yes, Tony Hawk, the professional skateboarder, and that's created his own custom craving box, of course, exclusively for Taco Bell app and website, of course, and says that it includes a limited time in-game reward for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 for 3 and 4, which is quite exciting. And that people can score his go-to Taco Bell meal at half price on July 8th, which only like 4 days away. So that's quite exciting. And I'm gonna be honest, this might give me a lot of hate, but it's my I'm not really like a big fan of Tony Hawk. I can understand why people like him, but I'm not really a skateboard guy, so you know. And for some streaming news, so Amazon is now shutting down streaming apps, so they can move to connect to Prime Videos, and which basically the streaming platform called Free Freevee. They connect with connect with Prime Videos by August of this year, continuing the streaming services. So all their movies and shows and all that will be on Prime Videos. Which I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know when's the last time I even watch 3D. But for anyone that cares, there you go. There. Okay, so now for the toys line, especially about Transformers. So right now, there's a rumor for a masterpiece movie sideswipe for the Revenge of the Fallen film, and which a reliable leaker is claiming that the MPN line which has been on, a weird thing lately. Is sorry. I do recommend you taking this with a huge grain of salt. It's not official or anything, but there will be work. Like I said, we'll be working on sites like Revenge of the Fallen. So who knows what would that be? But still, take it with a huge grain of salt. There's like no details. Those aren't provided, but who knows? It could happen. I mean, since I'm pretty sure they're done with the '07 characters. I think. Yeah, like, yes, they are done with all that, so it would make sense for them to move on to Revenge of the Fallen. But yeah. And now for two important ones that I want to talk about in this episode. So, AI, especially AI posters for movies and trailers as well. Man, I don't know the certain ones I've been seeing, but for like the posters themselves, they look actually kind of believe. Oh, like especially for like an animated movie and stuff, because someone I know is falling for it to think that it's a real thing, and so I have to tell them that it's AI, in which I want to say like 95% of the time they just think I'm crazy due to how realistic it looks. And also for the movie trailers, which is quite funny, is that we all see on YouTube fake movie trailers like Stranger Things season 5 or Avengers Doomsday or any of that, which a lot of people are think it's real, which is sad. And it also doesn't help that when a new movie it just gets announced like a day later, there's already like a trailer for it. It's funny. And also in those trailers, obviously the person who made it in the description obviously says it's a fake trailer, it's AI, but people sometimes don't read the description, so they just think it is real. So yeah, it's quite hard to actually escape from AI these days, especially to sometimes how realistic they look. So now, for technically the last bit of news in this episode, yes, I know it's a bit short, but really not that much exciting news to really talk about. But so it's happened a few days ago, but I want to talk about it. So P Diddy's court case happened, and his verdict is not and good. It's not great because he was found not guilty in three of the most major crimes. So for the first one, which is right. I know I'm gonna let's say this, and I'm sorry, but but racketeering and conspiracy, which he found not guilty. He, for for count two, for sex trafficking by force, fraud, he's found not guilty. And for sex trafficking, again, by force, fraud, he's found not guilty. And those are the three of the most serious crimes that he did. But he did found guilty on the third count of no, transporting in to engage in prostitution. He found guilty on that. And on count five, the same thing. So, those two are also bad, but I just can't believe because they said that they can't, he can serve up to minimum of 10 years in prison. So it could be lower than that, which is just completely insane because it's all the evidence and videos that they have, which I don't know what the jury is thinking. Like, how is he not guilty in the trafficking? Like, come on, like, they saw how many bottles of baby oil that he has in his house. So it's scary having him having him out of the world that he can 100% do it again. And this time he can be more sneaky about it so no one else can hear him or not hear him, but know about it. like, man, I'm just completely surprised about that. I didn't know the system, uh, Jerry court system is actually failing right now. But yeah, that's kind of really all the news I really had to talk about in this episode. But hopefully in the next episode, it's gonna be much longer. So who knows? Oh, this has been your host Austin on the Random Stuff Podcast, and I hope you all have a great day.